'Twas the month before Christmas, and the summer was hot and brat, and the world had voting exhaustion after all the electioneering tit for tat. 70 countries looked for new leaders, and billions turned out at the polls, with Labour ousting the Conservatives and Republicans taking the Democrat roles. Macron was shocked in France, while Narendra Modi secured term 3, and the Rainbow Nation inspired hope again with the national government of unity. Paris hosted the Summer Olympics, and Celine Dion stole the show from the Eiffel Tower as she pushed through her stiff person syndrome and showed the world her vocal power. Snoop Dogg, in his whites, might have dropped the torch if it was really hot, and you would be forgiven if you thought the show's director had smoked Snoop's lot. Lady Gaga's performance seemed a little lost as she sang on the banks of the Seine, a river that cost billions to clean, so the long-distance swimmers would be spared gut pain. Simone Biles got over the twisties and with 11 medals became the gymnastics GOAT. But kangaroo hops on the breakdancing floor didn't help Reagan to a single judge vote. The Turkish shooter, whose memes went viral, applied to trademark his nonchalant pose. And the winner of the men's 100 raced the 200 final with a COVID nose. Djokovic earned his career Golden Slam when he beat Carlos Alcaraz on clay. And Spain beat the hosts for the soccer prize in a match with 8 goals on the day. Mother Nature was pushed to her limits as global warming induced climate change, and temperatures rose around the globe to extend above their historical range. Typhoon Yogi and the Gulf hurricanes wreaked havoc as their winds never ceased. But Milton seemed too timid a name for a storm that became a Category 5 beast. Catastrophic landslides and wildfires and deadly flooding all came about, and our neighbours in Namibia experienced a 1 in 100-year drought. Some news we got wasn't pleasant to hear as the Khaleesi's announced their divorce. Skalk Besaidno told the Mensa that his marriage had gone the same course. We lost the Rose of Soweto, and Black Panther fans mourned when Connie Chumi passed, and Mposebeng and Selo Mutlong and Timmy Kwebulana acted out their last. We said goodbye to Mboweni and Gordon, who always did their best to investors woo. Both were finance ministers who played a SARB governor and a SARS commissioner too. The world lost many famous celebs, and Luke Skywalker and Simba both lost their dad. But the voice of James Earl Jones lives on via artificial intelligence on your iPad. Bob Newhart gave us his final laugh, and Donald Sutherland brought the Dirty Dozen to an end. And Downton Abbey and Harry Potter fans will remember Dame Maggie like a friend. Quincy Jones worked with iconic names, but 28 Grammys doesn't tell his whole story. And Liam Payne's tragic end was exploited by TMZ in photo detail that was gory. For shattering taboos about things between the sheets, who will ever forget Little Dr. Ruth? And O.J. Simpson took his secrets to the grave. Can we be sure he left us with the truth? Less famous are all the unknown names of the soldiers and civilians lost in the wars, as leaders hatched their battle plans behind the safety of their reinforced doors. Some countries continue to fight with themselves, and civil wars bring so much strife. And hunger and poverty don't discriminate and act just like bullets to take a life. Now, outside of all the doom and gloom and hurricanes, flooding and all the raining, there was lots of fun in music and sports and in the arts that we found entertaining. Oppenheimer won 7 Oscars, with Jimmy Kimmel hosting a ceremony oh so long. While Barbie was only good enough to snatch the one idol for Billie Eilish's song. What Was I Made For also won the Grammy for the Best Song of the Year. But with Beyoncé nominated for 11 awards, the 2025 winner won't be that clear. The Springboks won the championship, beating both the Wallabies and the All Blacks twice. But after a 1-point loss to Los Pumas away, at home we were clinical and cool as ice. Winning Player of the Year for a second time, Eben Etzebeth now has the most caps. And we're proud of our Bafana team, that qualified for AFCON without any mishaps. The Proteas women made the T20 World Cup final, and they really made us proud. But they lost out to the White Ferns from the land of the long white cloud. Dricka Stilnox won the UFC's middleweight belt, and then he defended his title. Oh, and Kaulami's getting an upgrade, which for Formula One is going to be vital. Khotatso Manchani became a Wimbledon champ when she won her doubles in the chair, while JP Vaudry brought home World Parasurfing gold after riding the waves with flair. When it comes to winning on the global stage, there are a couple of stories more. The Masters Hockey, the Sublime Hip Hop crew, and of course our champions at the tug of war. The Olympic Games was a mixed bag, and post-isolation, this was our event number 9. And with almost 150 competitors, do we think that 6 medals is fine? The Blitzboks won the bronze medal game, and Joanne van Dijk made a silver javelin throw. But as Tatiana's gold and silver swims, that budding breaststrokers will come to know. Rachel Benneker's another icon, as she's shown from winning races atop a horse, getting a ride on Khushui to be the first female jockey on the Durban July course. Our planet wasn't short of news, but there was plenty more when you looked up to space. For a time we had a second moon before the orbiting asteroid made a quick about face. Boeing sent up a Starliner with Williams and Wilmore being the historic first crew, but helium leaks and thruster malfunctions upset the manned vehicle's June debut. Instead of 8 days at the space station, they'll be stranded there until next year, when a rival SpaceX Crew Dragon will bring them back to the Earth with a cheer. If you blinked, you might have missed the rockets launching from Space Force stations, with almost 150 SpaceX missions this year, carrying cargo and satellites for many nations. The Falcon 9 is doing the bulk of that, along with the Falcon Heavy and the Starship. And can you believe that over 6,000 Starlink satellites already orbit our earthly pip? The final frontier will continue to be probed as we explore the planets and the stars, with Artemis heading back to the moon, and in the next decade, human beings on Mars. Technology's been exciting, and it might seem that Tesla's had all the luck. And on a robo-taxi ride one day, you could be passed by Optimus in his Cybertruck. On the 5th test flight of the Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built to fly, Mechagodzilla used its chopsticks to grab the Super Heavy first stage from the sky. Of course, nothing is perfectly fail-safe, and vendors can promise what they like. But can you recount the outage story that we witnessed in Windows from CrowdStrike? There were trends and memes in the social space, and thanking Beyonce was a must, with Lieutenant Dan hiding from hurricanes in a boat in which he put all his trust. Moodeng, the pygmy hippo, became famous in Thailand and across the whole net. And maybe it was mindful, but it was very demure, very cutesy, you can certainly bet. Kate, the Orlando Four Seasons baby, became a hit before she turned 2. And Gen Z told us to believe in ourselves, as being Delulu was the only Salulu. Time has run out to consider every high and every low, or even how Chapel Roan was HOTTOGO. It's important to know when you've done enough, and Mike Tyson will tell you that can be tough. So let's wrap the year up in one final line, using a twisted version of Clement Moore's rhyme. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, a great festive season to all, and to all a good night.